In this video, I'll be showing how to decrement time. So the first thing I did was that I chose to display my time through a text. So I went to setup scene and I created a text and I made it be called timer, and then I set its text value to timer and then an ellipsis so that later I can put numbers in there. So the first thing I'm going to do is decide how long I want this timer to be running. So in my case, I'm just going to go for 1 minute or 60 seconds. So while the timer is more than 0, from starting from 60, it'll just keep subtracting 1 to whatever number it has. So if it has 59, it's going to check, oh, is 59 more than 0? Yes. So then it's going to subtract 1 and it'll be 58. And then, oh, is 58 more than 0? And then it'll subtract 1 again. Meanwhile, in between the time it takes to subtract, I'm going to have it delay 1 second. That way it works like an actual clock, where every second it goes down by 1. So upon recognizing that I'm going to need to use a while loop so that it can be constantly running, I also need a variable to store the value of the time. So I'm going to make a scene variable. I'm going to call it timer. It's going to be a whole number, and I'm going to set it to be 60. Or time. That works too. So then, in my first method, I will be using that one. So basically, while my time, which you can see already shows here, is more than 0, I want it to change the way it looks here, so change the display to a different number. I want it to delay by 1 second each time it's subtracting, and then I want to set my main, which notice how I had to click this or select this to see it, set my main timer variable to some math, so basically itself minus 1 each time. Here it's opposite, so this time minus 1, because I want it so that if the time is 59, 60, 58, 40, doesn't matter, it's always just going to subtract 1 from the last number that was stored in the variable. But I also want that number to be displayed. I don't just want the computer to know it, I want the user to know it, and I want it to be displayed here in this timer, in that text. So the way to do that is to just have a custom text string. In this case, I'm just going to put a space. And now I'm going to add the last value that we had for time, which each one is going to be, each time a second passes, it's going to be 1 second less. And then after it subtracts 1 from the time and it displays that new time, I want a second to pass before it repeats it all over again. So there it is. Each time it's going down. So you can see. Now, if I wanted it to keep saying timer, or here, I did it without a space, I would just do this, and then it would just stay with the whole word, like if I wanted to use it for a game or whatnot. So that's one way to do it. And this that I did here can also be done from another method in scene. For example, a method that I could call decrement time. All I would need to do is just change this. Oh well. Take this to my clipboard, bring it here, and then not forget to call it from my first method so that it can run. And there it is, working just fine. So that's how or at least one way to decrement the time.